Firstly, it's worth asking what it is, and what I'm going to link in the description down below is a mega thread by DJ Phil07, who talked about the game and did an in memoriam back in February when it looked like the servers were shut down for good. The game itself started off as KartSim. The ideas go all the way back to 2008. But for a lot of people, what they'll first particularly be aware of is when it went on to Steam Greenlight. Does anybody else remember Steam Greenlight? It was such a big thing because it was where people got their games approved for development on the Steam platform. Doesn't really happen anymore, and that's why you end up with so much of the, what people call AI-generated slop on the Steam marketplace today. But it got Steam Greenlight approval back in 2014. I think back then it was still called KartSim. But the early access for The Sims started in late 2018, and according to various different charts, that is when its user base was at an all-time high, a peak of 200 or approximately 200 different users. There were some peaks and troughs over the years, fueled by DLC and also streaming creators for sim racing through 2020 and 2021, but the full title was released on the 26th of January 2022, the most recent peak, which, depending on who you're looking at, was approximately 180 different players. But since then, the momentum has sort of stalled out. Now, part of it, people will argue, was the acquisition by Motorsport Games. That happened in 2021. Motorsport Games, the entity behind Le Mans Ultimate, massively expanded this time and picked up contracts for NASCAR, for IndyCar, for the BTCC. And in the end, the only one they were able to really deliver was the World Endurance Championship. But until then, KartCraft was the flagship release because NASCAR 21 Ignition was critically panned, and for fans of sim racing who were looking for a new title by Motorsport Games, this was pretty much it. Which made the 2023 studio shutdown a massive punch in the gut for sim racing fans. And that punch in the gut turned to complete anger when in early 2025 the server stopped working. It looked like this game was going the way of the original crew, that Motorsport Games was doing a Ubisoft and they were just going to kill the game. But alas, it was restored, and that's why I'm able to talk about myself playing it today. I've had it on my wish list for years, and I do literally mean years. And I picked it up recently when there was a big sale on for sim racing and racing titles, amongst other things such as GTR 2, which I've recently done a review for. You can check that out, either linked in the description section down below or elsewhere on my channel. So, without further ado, history lesson complete. Let's talk about the game.